This was an interesting episode. So the title is The Hunchback of Hillhurst. Netflix description is after Nano and Aaron tell the kids the legend of the Hunchback of Hillhurst, they run into a slightly forgetful hunchback named Quincy Modo. I keep wanting to say forgettable instead of forgetful.
I was going to say, it makes it sound like you forget him, but he's the main focus of the episode.
We open this episode.
The intro to I Would Do Anything for Love.
Yes. Quincy Modo, the hunchback, is presumably up in like the attic. I'd say bell tower, but it's not a bell tower because it's a mansion.
He's in the
attic.
church.
He's in the attic.
Yeah. He's just next to a window.
And
That's the only
he has a bell, a singular large bell, in a like
freaking
trunk.
Liberty Bell.
Yeah, it's the size of his head, and he picks it up,
which is also rather large.
Yes, picks it up and rings it and cackles. Skip over to Zoom Comics,
and isn't that the first time we actually see the full scope of Hillhurst?
Yeah, they zoom out of Hillhurst
because
a drone shot.
Nano and Aaron decide to tell this story, and the lights go out. Their faces are spookily lit, and they tell the story of years and years ago. Presumably Nano was a kid at this time.
Yeah, I think she says something about
that.
Something
60s or 70s, and this is the 90s, so the 20s or 30s?
I was a little confused on it, but I guess they kept hearing these bells tolling in Hillhurst back in the day. Some brave citizens investigated, walked in, found a
pitchforks, torches,
hunchback monster, and it scared them so bad their hair went stark white, and they ran out. After that day, the hunchback ran out into the woods, and no one ever saw from him again, and no one ever heard the bells until last night.
And
which is why
Joe's holding a baseball bat as soon as the scary story starts.
A wooden baseball bat.
And then when they all get scared, she snaps it in half, and nobody says a damn thing.
Like, Aaron is staring right at the kids, and he does not react.
Big Nano has an excuse because her backstory.
She's
going to answer the phone.
He's sitting there thinking
the phone was ringing.
Yeah, the phone rang and it sounded like the bells tolling.
Aaron's sitting there looking at her and he goes, I hope no one realizes I replaced the bat with fiberglass.
Joe's like, wow, this really felt like fiberglass.
Joe, kids, it's just the phone.
We then shoot back to Hillhurst. Flabber's trying to break up a fight.
Yeah,
because
Wolfgang is accusing Mums of eating the last of his doggy treats.
Which looks like a box of Pop-Tarts.
Yes. The monsters are getting in a fit over Mums being accused of thievery. So when the kids run in, Flabber enlists them to try and help break up the fight. Flabber transforms into a cop.
The way that the clothes go onto him, they like slide up from off screen. The shirt comes up from his feet, the shirt and pants, and the hat like comes in from the side and just like slides on. Yeah. And there's like this weird half a
beautifully
screen.
Done. Bravo.
We get to see a flashback of Mums earlier in the day.
Yeah, he was in the attic practicing his rap.
I don't remember any of his rap except he said Cairo Gyro just because they rhyme, not because he did something gyro-esque.
Hey,
I thought
at least he didn't rhyme yeah with yeah. He's better than SoundCloud.
So Mums does his rap flashback, and then Wolfgang wants to tell his story, but Wolfgang can't because I don't know why.
Because like he doesn't talk normal.
Because he Scooby talks.
Because we're a disablest.
Fangula translates for Wolfgang and explains that he was reading a comic, eating his box of doggy treats, and he turned around and it was empty.
One of them was gone.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, just one was gone?
It was empty.
You said it was empty.
Well, but the guy, Quincy only took one.
Yeah, he literally...
And it was apparently
there was only one
and
left.
it was empty. He took one.
He took my last dog treat.
I was like...
Now I'm gonna starve.
So Wolfgang's just cheap. So Quincy took the last one and then ran away into the attic. Somehow they've never noticed that Quincy is taking stuff before.
He's been there a week. It was established at this point. He's been there one fucking week.
But he had already rang the bells, and they do not address it at all. None of the monsters comment on having heard the bells. They just talk about having shit being stolen. Flabber gets a lot of weird animations in this episode.
Yeah. They blew their Flabber budget in the one where he did like 12 back-to-back movie references.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes.
The best time.
The best Flabber
That may have been the most
yet.
fun I've had watching this show so far.
Yeah. Flabber transforms into a private eye. He says he's going to find the culprit and squeeze the information out of him. And he becomes an accordion. Like, he, squishes down into the ground and back up and back down. And then the kids follow him with
I
their
thought
eyes.
he was Moon Shoes.
We transition from Hillhurst to the catacombs. Typhus, who is sunbathing with one of those tri-fold mirror things. If you abuse me, grandma, you lose me. They have a new plan. So apparently there's some crippled motherfucker we can take advantage of for free labor. Vexor?
Vexor, the big
He's
bad.
like, oh yes, he's not part of the comic world, so they can't send him back. It's like, no, they'll just straight up murder somebody.
Now, mind you, Vexor has never tried to convert the other monsters inside of Hillhurst that have actively tried to kill the kids.
Yeah, and the monsters.
Fangula.
Yeah.
Fangula tries to eat him every fucking time he sees him. He's known them for 15 goddamn episodes now,
It would
and
not
he still
take,
tries to eat him.
I'm convinced, outside of Flabber's influence, it would not take much for Vexor to convince Fangula, Mums.
I mean,
even Wolfgang or
Frankenbean.
Frankenbean. The Magnivores decide that they're going to take Quincy. Quincy. Because they said he's a monster, but he's not in the comic universe, so they can take him, and then the kids can't put him back in the comics. We go back to Hillhurst, and the kids and Flabber and the monsters are trying to follow a set of muddy footprints. No clue why they're muddy. Quincy Moto is who made the footprints. Quincy Moto lives in the fucking attic. They could be slightly dusty. Flabber says they're mud prints. He didn't go outside. He was in the attic the whole time. They decide they're going to go up into the attic. They're going to find out what's going on.
They're going to get to the top of this.
The kids start dicking around with the bells. Quincy's around the corner, and he very scarily goes, "Don't touch my bells." And Flabber goes, "Don't touch
his
the
bells."
yeah.
And
He acts like they just picked up a velociraptor
Yeah.
and the mom's right behind him.
Quincy Moto walks over, and they're like, "Oh, it's the Hunchback." Is it Drew that looks at him? He goes,
"Wait a minute. I know you. You're the fullback for Not Her Name University."
Yeah,
and then
and
he
the-
goes,
I don't know who Quincy Moto is.
and I absolutely
Yeah.
thought they were about to say, "But we didn't say Quincy Moto."
Yeah.
And instead they just went, "No, it's you." And
Yeah.
I was just like, you missed the opportunity
missed
to make
the
a
spot.
stupid fucking pun.
the kids try and explain that he's the fullback for Not Her Name University, which the kids cannot say without sounding clunky.
Not her
They-
name.
Yeah, they say it very clunkily, and it's a
I
little
think-
painful. And I know
I think the
it's-
director probably told them to make it sound as much like Notre Dame.
Drew discloses Quincy Moto is the fullback for Not Her Name University.
Yeah, and they just saw it on the news
They
a
just
week
saw on
ago.
the news. And the problem with this is that they say you almost had that touchdown if it weren't for getting kicked in the head. The problem is he doesn't get kicked in the head. He runs into the goalpost,
He either
which
A-
would be a touchdown. So this is supposed to explain his amnesia, not his appearance.
Yes.
Which is of a vaguely Quasimodo look. One eye
One
is
is
on his
lower
cheek.
than the other.
He
yes.
keeps his right eye closed, and they have a painted-on eye underneath it
Oh,
to
it's
make
not
it look
painted.
like.
No, it's
like a
prosthetic.
sculpted
It's
eye.
totally
Yeah.
a
No,
prosthetic.
there's
eye.
no
three-dimensional.
way.
Yes, 100%.
It looks like it's face paint that they put like enamel over.
I
Or
swear it's
No,
clear nail
I'm with
polish.
Cam on
It's a
this one. I'm sorry, man.
prosthetic.
It
I
is
think it's a
totally.
prosthetic. When the Magnivores come and take him, the monsters and Quincy outside in the streets terrorizing citizens. They're at the pizza shop
Yeah,
again.
strictly to get pizza.
Yes, because Quincy
Even
asks,
Typhus says,
All the free pizza and soda we want.
Yeah, because Quincy even is like, "Why are we here?"
Which I
he
guess
has
is.
literally no idea what the fuck is happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
he's like, I've never had friends before. I'm just happy for the opportunity. Power
What's
of
going
friendship."
on? What are we doing?
We're robbing the bank.
What?
the kids go out. The Magnivores summon the Magnivore jets. Roland says, "I would know that noise anywhere."
And whenever they get their armor, it's whenever they cast it off.
when
This
they-
transformation
Yeah, it
sequence
goes-
is
Yeah.
one of the
So we
generic
get
ones.
our song counter goes up to 17. They're still keeping a couple ahead of the episode count.
Beetleborgs! Beetleborgs!
So they show the blue AV being summoned from the battle base. Roland goes, "Where's the blue AV?" Joe goes, "Oh, he's trying out his new AV." And it's the flying one that pops out of the top horn.
And it's an SR-71
Gargantua.
Blackbird.
They just start slaughtering the Magnivore
Civilians,
jets,
too.
and it really doesn't. It's
Again.
the same footage we've seen again and again. There's nothing
They
new. Like this, it felt like the Magnivore jet fight for this episode was longer than usual, and like
but like a full 2 minutes.
yeah, but it was like this. It was all reused footage. We've seen everything that
It
happened.
was just repeated.
yeah.
I'm pretty blanked out on the whole fight until we get to Quincy Moto's part.
right, and like
wasn't
because it didn't matter.
it.
Like it was
Yeah,
all
Like
the
it
same
was
footage
not
we've
worth
seen.
remembering at all.
Yeah, the only thing that was unique was that for no reason whatsoever,
Yeah,
and
the
with no
different
context,
AV.
he was in the flying AV. The Beetleborgs get out of their AVs. They're done with that fight. They go down to face the monsters. They explain to him that he's not a monster. He's a human. He doesn't need to side with these guys. They don't care about him. We get a scene of Quincy Moto deciding to attack the Beetleborgs. Roland does his speediness and pushes the other two away. Roland then runs away at the last moment. Then we see Quincy kind of like lunge towards the Beetleborgs.
No. No, God.
So that's Ryan's reaction every time. We sat for 30 minutes while he laughed at this.
Was it really that long?
It was,
It's a long time.
It's almost 9.
Fuck! God damn it. Okay, you have to send that to me so I can put it on Instagram so people can see
Put
it.
in the group chat so Aaron can cry
Yes,
to it.
Ed Binky. Quincy runs into a telephone pole, and that jogs his memory back, because if we know anything about head injuries, if you hit your
another
head
head
again,
injury undoes the first one. They
Yes.
cancel out.
Quincy says, "I'm a monster, people are scared of me," and Roland steps up and goes, "No, they're just judging
you by your looks.
by your looks." I am glad that they had this little moment, because it does justify him being a human and not a thing. He's normal Quincy again. Doesn't remember anything that's happened between the time he hit his head and the time he hit his head again. So he's like, "Where's my jersey? What's going on? Where's my helmet? Oh no, don't look at my face." And
Yeah.
Joe's like, "No, you don't need to hide your face. It's okay." We kind of end with the kids walking away with Quincy. Well, we don't end with that, but we think we're going to end with the kids walking away with Quincy in a very Goonies-esque manner, where they're walking away with Sloth.
It freeze frames and it cuts to them reading a newspaper
Yes.
in which they say, "Oh, he's gone back to the university. The team is doing great again now that he's back."
Yeah.
So he is still successful.
Yeah,
like he does.
he's doing good.
And that's like the Monsterella.
Monstrella, yeah,
Yeah.
she gets a successful career afterwards.
Outside
with
of
the
it,
movies or
but
the TV show.
she got her time in, and then
Yeah.
she was out.
And she was a fabrication. Like,
Yeah.
she's she's like a homunculi.
He was a
Like,
guy who
he's
went
a person.
He's a human being who went missing for a week and no one questioned it. Then just let him back on the team.
Yeah. So we don't close on them talking about him having a successful football career. We
No.
close on Flabber in a ref outfit, blowing a whistle,
Play ball.
and the monsters are playing football. Well, they're not playing football. The football gets thrown.
They
in a
do
perfect
one
spiral.
hike. They
Yeah,
do
they do
one
one
hike.
And,
And then
ball-
it just descends into
Yes.
chaos.
The ball rebounds off of various objects, hitting various people. Wolfgang gets kicked by
we
one of
didn't
the
get
other
Mason on
monsters.
here to weigh in with
Yes.
his expert opinion.
Yeah, we end with them throwing the football around. Eventually, Fangula
that's wrong.
catches it in his jaws. He gets a penalty for it from Flabber. And
As it flew towards him, the moment
Yes.
it hit him too, I went, and his fangs punctured it, and it's gonna end. There you go.
I guess this gives new meaning to the word